if an engine went out, would you rather be in a helicopter or would you rather be in an airplane? And he goes, well, realistically, I'd rather be in a helicopter. But let me tell you what we learned in flight school. He goes on to talk about in flight school, what they teach you is to just fly plane, no matter what. So basically, if you're at 30,000 feet, you're in full motion, 500 miles per hour, you're going forward, maybe on your way to Florida, and all of a sudden there's a big, decompression of air in the chamber or whatnot, to where a hole came in the plane. So basically, if that point would ever happen, as you guys would know, there's 240 people, passengers in an airplane. All havoc is going to let loose. Basically, the masks are going to drop because of low oxygen. So people are going to be very panicky, screaming. People are going to be, going chaotic. The stewardess are going to be running around, and baggage things are going to be going crazy. It's going to be extremely cold as well because the temperature is going to drop. There's not going to be any oxygen in the air. But the thing is that the pilot has to do one thing and one thing only, not only to not panic, but to just fly the plane. That's very crucial. That's what they teach you in flight school. And so doing so, because if they would panic, right, they would crash. Everybody would die. And then that would not make for a good news story, or maybe it would. So while he's in there, here's the other thing that happens that you guys don't know, is when there's a hole in the plane or when there's a decompression of air, the pilot has to do one big thing, one big move. And that is he has to go from flying horizontal to about a 45-degree dive. And he has to reach 10,000 feet in 1 minute, less than 60 seconds. And by doing so, he's going to bring up the temperature so people don't freeze to death. And secondly, he's going to bring you down to that because that's where oxygen exists. So think about you as a passenger. One, big hole breaks in, right? Big blowout of air. It's now freezing cold, below 0 degrees, no oxygen, masks drop, and then all of a sudden the plane goes like this, right? You're going to feel like you're going to die. You're going to feel like you're going to die. But at the end of the day, the pilot has to do one thing, and that is to just fly the plane. And so I'm listening to this, and I'm just like, wow, how amazing does that connect to our businesses, right? Customers calling in, complaining, asking for cancellations, refunds. The product isn't what I thought it was going to be. Who the heck are you guys? You're scammers, right? You have employees with crazy things going on, right? Merchant accounts dying, Facebook ads exploding, funnels not working or breaking. Like there's a lot of havoc going on. But as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as you guys are, we have to just fly the plane. And so when something like that hits me really strong, I like to always create some sort of a memento so I never forget it. So I can always keep it around. And so what I did was I created these really cool bracelets. So if do you guys want one of these? It's called Just Fly the Plane. So you can guys keep these on. So we'll pass these out. So these are bracelets. Drew, if you want to pass those out for me, that'd be fantastic. So we'll get those out to you guys. Those are really cool. So hopefully you guys can kind of always remember that story along with the bracelets. So that way the bracelet means something to you guys. Now you know the story that goes along to it. So any big questions, because we're kind of coming down to the final hour, any big questions that you guys didn't get answered that I can answer for you guys? Because then we're going to go into the final takeaways, the big takeaways. Oh, yeah, right. I should tell that story. Okay. It's a funny story. So, yeah, you want to know if that's your question? Okay. So, yeah, I did. So basically we take up so we're in a little bit a 2-man helicopter. And so basically we are sitting in the helicopter. We go up to, I think we're at like 8,000 feet is where we're at. And it was, so in the sky was puffy clouds. And I didn't know anything what that means, but that means it's extremely windy up there. And this helicopter, we'll get to that. So basically this helicopter doesn't have doors on it. And I have a seatbelt just like your regular, but I don't have a strap. It's just like one of those waist seatbelts. And you can hear the wind flapping. It's like that whoop, 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 and the propeller on the top. And so I'm hearing that and I'm feeling the helicopters. Like I look out and then I look back. So we're supposed to stare at the horizon. She's kind of showing me these things like, okay, here's your lever. This makes it go forward and aft, like left and right. This pulls it up. This changes your angle. So we can do positive pitch, negative pitch. And as we're kind of going through this, a wind gust hits us. And I look out the window and I don't see the horizon. I'm looking at the ground is really what we're doing. And so what's happening is it's so strong of wind that it's popping the helicopter sideways. And so basically when I look out, I'm actually looking down because we are sideways in the air. And that's how windy it is. And so she's like, and I kind of leaned over to her and I'm like, so what is this helicopter rated for? Like wind wise? She's like, oh, around 35 to 40 miles an hour. And I said, so what would you say the wind is right now? She goes, probably about 30 to 35 miles an hour. And I said, so we're pretty much pushing it. She's like, yeah, we normally don't take people up, but today we thought we would. I was like, good. I'm glad we risked our lives together. So it's me and you. We're going in. So she gives me the handle, which is obviously connected to her handle. So she's like, okay, well, put your hand on the handle. I was like, okay, here we go. She's like, grab the, the brake or whatever. So we're kind of do this. And she's like, whatever you do, just make sure you aim for a water tower. I was like, okay, so we're aiming for a water tower. And I was like, so when do I know? I'm saying this over the microphone. So I was like, so when do I know when I'm flying? And as I'm saying this, I look over and she's reading a book. And she's just kind of going through things. I was like, okay, put your, seriously, she was literally reading a book. And I was like, are you not going to put your hands back on she's like, no, you're fine. I was like, okay. And seriously, about that time, freaking wind hit us again. I was like, whoop, 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 whoop. And I'm like, holy smokes. And this is supposed to be an intro flight, to see if you love it. I didn't love it. It was not fun, but we got back down safe to ground. And I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't too bad, but it was a little intense. But yes, you actually do get to fly the airplane, which is pretty cool. It felt really good. So I fly remote control helicopters. That's kind of my side hobby. And so that's kind of how I knew of what was kind of going on and things to look out for. And it made sense, right? So then, it's pretty hilarious. So that was my helicopter story. So is anybody, Kirk, is that a callback? Yes. Come up here. Talk to us. Is that a callback? Are we getting callbacks right now? Are they FaceTiming you? You want to put them on blast? Okay. We don't know. We could answer it. See who it is. Hey-o. All right. Anybody else want to make questions? Because then what I want to do is I want to go through breakthroughs. So what I like to do is take about 5 or 10 minutes and maybe list 2 or 3 big takeaways or 2 or 3 big things that you're going to implement from this entire 3-day event, this 3-day intensive. What was something that was like, man, that right there is going to allow me to either have a breakthrough or allow me to have a quantum leap? Because what happens is we go over a lot of stuff. Can we just say that? We went over a lot of things. We covered a lot of material. You're going to miss a lot of it, right? And you're going to catch a lot of it. So what I like doing is there might have been a time where you were looking at a Facebook ad or you were building a funnel and I said something, or maybe someone else heard from someone else, or maybe you had a conversation between someone and you're like, holy smokes, that's gold, right? It might not have even been something I said. So I like to be able to come as a group, to come as a congregation here, as a tribe, and to kind of voice those breakthroughs that you received in the last 3 days. So we're going to take 5 to 10 minutes to kind of go over those thoughts. And then I'd like to have you guys raise your hands and share just one of those individually. And so we'll kind of go around the room. And that way, not only will you have many breakthroughs and quantum leaps, but you'll have multiples breakthroughs. So does that sound good? Is everybody okay doing that? Okay. All right. Give me some claps or something. We're at the end of this. This is awesome. Okay. All right. So we'll do that. We'll do 5 minutes and then we'll come back on and then we'll see what we can share. Okay.